Good day and welcome. You're watching St. Maarten NEWSDESK, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Philipsburg, St. Maarten. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
KPSM urges road safety after series of serious accidents. The police force of St. Maarten KPSM is raising alarm following multiple serious traffic accidents during the first weeks of 2026, several of which have resulted in fatalities and life-altering injuries. Preliminary investigations point to speeding, wet road conditions, poor lighting, reduced visibility, and distracted driving as major contributing factors. KPSM is urging motorists to slow down, adjust speed during rainfall, maintain safe following distances, and avoid cell phone use while driving. Scooter and motorcycle riders are reminded that wearing a helmet is mandatory and can save lives. Riders must also ensure their lights and vehicles are in proper working condition. Meanwhile, on the French side, the gendarmerie confirmed that a young man died Friday night in Marigot after losing control of his motorbike on Rue Nana Clark. He was not wearing a helmet and crashed into a low wall. No other vehicles were involved. Police emphasized that road safety is a shared responsibility and confirmed that traffic controls and enforcement will continue island-wide. Minister Gumbs moves to abolish inheritance and land taxes. The Council of Ministers has approved draft legislation to formally abolish both the inheritance tax and the land tax, clearing the way for parliamentary deliberations that were set to begin on February 13th. Minister of Finance, the Honorable Marinka J. Gumbs, noted that although both taxes have existed in law for decades, they have never been enforced. What use is there in having laws that we have not enforced on the books, the minister stated. The land tax, set at 0.3% of a property's value, technically applies annually to both improved and unimproved land and would affect succession land across the island. The inheritance tax applies to assets transferred upon death but has also not been actively collected. The minister emphasized that abolishing these taxes will not impact other real estate-related charges such as the 4% transfer tax or long lease land fees. If approved by Parliament, the move would formally eliminate uncertainty surrounding estate transfers and reinforce St. Maarten's position as an attractive location for property ownership and wealth transfer. Kadaster St. Maarten and Kadaster Netherlands advance regional cooperation with an LOE. Kadaster St. Maarten and Kadaster Netherlands, representing the BES Islands of Bonaire, St. Eustatius, and Saba, have signed a letter of intent, or LOE, in Philipsburg, marking another step toward establishing the Caribbean Kadaster Association, CCA. The agreement, signed by Managing Director Benjamin Ortega and Cora Smelik of the Kadaster Netherlands, strengthens cooperation in land administration and geospatial development across the region. The CCA is envisioned as a structured regional network to modernize land registries, improve geospatial data systems, enhance legal and policy frameworks, and build professional capacity. The LOE builds on momentum from the November 2025 Geospatial Knowledge Infrastructure Caribbean Summit, where several territories agreed to collaborate toward formalizing the CCA. As initiator of the project, St. Maarten has been selected as the inaugural chair, leading the next phase of development. Both parties emphasize the importance of knowledge exchange, digital transformation, and regional alignment in strengthening transparency, resilience, and sustainable land governance throughout the Caribbean.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 St. Martin, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from Great Bay Media Studios in St. Martin, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
There, it's Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
At Talon, we believe connection goes beyond signals. It's about people. From every call, every laugh.
Hi, Merry Christmas. Thanks for calling.
Every moment shared across our island.
Game time.
We're reminded this network was built by St. Martin for St. Martin.
I couldn't. Oh, I got you. Don't worry, man. We're good.
When are you coming to St. Martin?
All right, let's go. Go.
Here's to staying connected to what matters most. Your connection, your Christmas.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NEWSDESK. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. St. Kitts to the world, now streaming everywhere. In relation to the Jasmine case, the defense challenges bribery claims against former Minister Emmanuel. The defense of former Vromi Minister Christophe Emmanuel has pushed back strongly against bribery allegations in the ongoing Jasmine case, disputing claims that references to grafted mangoes and access to Jordan Village apartment were coded benefits tied to building permits. Attorney Peggy Ann Brandon argued that the prosecution's interpretation of grafted mangoes as bribery is unfounded. She stated the term refers to a common cultivated mango variety and local expressions about ripening fruit, not coded payments. According to the defense, prosecutors relied on superficial interpretations without proving any monetary value or link to specific permit decisions. The defense also rejected claims that Emmanuel received an apartment in Jordan Village in exchange for permit approvals. Brandon pointed to timeline inconsistencies, noting the relevant permit was issued in 2018 while the alleged benefit supposedly occurred in 2017. She argued there is no evidence the unit belonged to the developer cited, nor proof it was intended for Emmanuel's personal use. On the flagpole project and other post-Hurricane Irma public works, the defense maintained these were urgent recovery efforts carried out under emergency conditions. Brandon said there was no formal tender process because the project functioned as a public-private partnership and funds referenced by prosecutors were used to cover subcontractor costs, not for personal gain. Throughout closing arguments, the defense emphasized that bribery requires proof of intent and knowledge that a benefit was meant to influence official actions. Brandon argued the prosecution failed to demonstrate any direct connection between alleged gifts and ministerial decisions. The case continues with the court to determine whether the evidence meets the threshold for bribery or abuse of office. Historic meeting with incoming Prime Minister Rob Jetten calls for stronger kingdom collaboration. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Luc Mercelina participated in a historic virtual introductory meeting on February 10th with Dutch formateur and prospective Prime Minister Rob Jetten, marking a first in kingdom-level cooperation during the formation of a new Dutch government. The meeting, initiated jointly by St. Maarten, Aruba and Curaçao, included Prime Minister Michel Iman of Aruba, Vice Prime Minister Charlton Hato of Curaçao, and incoming Dutch Prime Minister Rob Jetten and Director General for Kingdom Relations, Barbara Wolfensperger. Prime Minister Mercelina described the engagement as constructive and forward-looking, emphasizing the importance of early dialogue to ensure the Caribbean countries' priorities are recognized within the Kingdom framework. These areas highlighted included economic resilience, sustainability, security, and education. In another milestone, the Prime Ministers of Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Maarten jointly issued a formal letter to the Dutch formateur, the first time the three leaders have collectively addressed a forming Dutch government. The letter congratulated Jetten and called for strengthened collaboration on shared priorities. The leaders also expressed their intention to convene a formal meeting of the four prime ministers during a planned working visit to the Netherlands in March. Prime Minister Mercelina noted that this unified approach reflects a shared commitment to practical cooperation and sustainable development across the kingdom. Freegan Food Foundation must vacate headquarters by July. Community support urgently needed. The Freegan Food Foundation has received notice that its lease at Freegan HQ will not be renewed. While initially asked to vacate by April, the deadline has been extended to July. The foundation says the situation poses a serious challenge as the location serves as the operational base for its food bank, supporting more than 150 families weekly, its thrift store, Freegan Meals program, and family coaching services. Losing the space could disrupt essential services that many vulnerable households rely on. The organization is now urgently seeking a new commercial or community location and is appealing to the public for assistance. Community members who know of available spaces, potential partnerships, or property owners willing to assist are encouraged to come forward and help spread the message. The Freegan Food Foundation says it remains committed to its mission of reducing food waste while strengthening food security and dignity across St. Maarten.
When we come back, we go to our in-depth feature of the day, exploring one of the island's most thought-provoking topics. That's just ahead. Stay tuned.
You know, we all talk about having rights. And yeah, we do.
We have the right to be safe.
The right to learn and get an education.
The right to speak up and be heard.
The right to dream big and build our future.
But listen, rights don't stand alone.
We also have responsibilities.
Real talk, if we want respect, we gotta give respect too.
St. Maarten is our home.
So let's protect it. Keep our beaches clean, our streets clean, and show love to nature.
Healthy island, healthy future.
Our parents and guardians do a lot for us.
Let's show respect, talk to them, and listen, even when it's hard.
School prepares us for life.
So we show up, we stay focused, and we put in effort.
We want opportunities, so we work for them.
We are part of this community, every village, every culture, every neighborhood.
Let's be kind, positive, and supportive.
A stronger community starts with us.
And most importantly, we are responsible for ourselves.
We make healthy choices for our mind and body.
We believe in our goals and our voice and our future.
Our rights gives us power, our responsibilities makes us leaders. Together we rise.
The Convention of the Rights of the Child isn't just a policy, it's protection and responsibility. When our children learn their rights, they are better prepared to take on their responsibility. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Youth.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every laugh, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Maarten. Welcome to today's NEWSDESK feature.
A police-involved shooting on the evening of Friday, February 13th, has left the St. Peter's community in mourning and raised questions that are now the subject of an official investigation. According to the police force of St. Maarten, KPSM, officers were dispatched around 9 p.m. after multiple reports were received of a man walking along St. Peter's Road while carrying a firearm. Officers responded to the scene and encountered a man who was reportedly in possession of a weapon. During the interaction that followed, shots were fired by the police. The man was struck and later succumbed to his injuries at the scene. He has since been identified as Rudy Benjamin, described by residents as a well-respected member of the St. Peter's community. News of his death has deeply affected the district, where neighbors and friends have expressed shock, grief, and disbelief. In keeping with established procedures in St. Maarten, any incident involving the discharge of a police firearm automatically triggers an independent investigation. The national detectives, known as the Landsrecherche, are now leading the probe under the supervision of the Public Prosecutor's Office. Authorities have stated that detectives are collecting forensic evidence, interviewing witnesses, and reviewing all available material to establish the facts surrounding the incident. KPSM has confirmed that its management team and the officers involved are fully cooperating with the ongoing investigation. In a brief update issued Saturday, the police extended condolences to the family and loved ones of the deceased, calling the incident regrettable. Honorable Minister of Justice Natalie Tacklin also addressed the nation, expressing her deepest condolences to the family and acknowledging the emotional impact on the wider community. She noted that such incidents carry weight not only for the family of the deceased but also for the officers who responded and their families. The minister urged residents to allow the investigative process to unfold and to exercise dignity and restraint during this period of heightened emotion. The prosecutor's office has emphasized that the investigation is still in its early stages and that no further details can be released at this time. Officials are aware of public reaction and concern, particularly within St. Peter's, where the loss of Rudy Benjamin has resonated strongly. As the legal process moves forward, the focus now rests on establishing a clear and objective account of what transpired that night. For the community of St. Peter's, however, the immediate reality is one of mourning, as residents remember a man they say was known and respected all around the neighborhood. Further updates are expected once investigators conclude the next phase of their review.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
News out of Barbados. Government moves toward electoral reform. News coming out of Barbados signals upcoming changes to the country's electoral framework as Prime Minister Emmanuel has pledged urgent reform to modernize the nation's voting system. Speaking after taking the oath of office at State House, Prime Minister Emmanuel emphasized that current electoral legislation, some of which dates back more than 3 decades, requires immediate review. She confirmed that observer teams from the Commonwealth and CARICOM remain engaged in assessing the recent electoral process and will submit recommendations aimed at strengthening future elections. Motley stated that her government will carefully consider those findings, underscoring a commitment to transparency, modernization, and public confidence in the democratic process. During her remarks, the Prime Minister also signaled broader national priorities, including support for the President's Chapman Challenge initiative aimed at fostering leadership and development across communities. She described the program as a potential flagship national effort and pledged government collaboration to expand its reach. The ceremony was witnessed by regional leaders and officials, reflecting continued Caribbean engagement and cooperation. Prime Minister Emmanuel also commended the Bajan public for what she described as a peaceful and orderly electoral process. That's the latest from Barbados. Shout out to our viewers in Barbados watching NEWSDESK. Here's an island fact. Barbados became the world's newest republic in 2021, transitioning from a constitutional monarchy while remaining a member of the Commonwealth.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten NEWSDESK. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at NEWSDESK, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, St. Maarten.